Okay, I would recommend that you close, disconnect your previous windows, and then let's go to File, New Notebook and Drive. And we're going to call this one Chatbots. Now, with Chatbots, I mean like a really basic kind of chatbot. We're going to use conditionals for this. And so how do we set up a conditional? We use the if. So if what? Let's say if someone's age is what? Greater than or equal to 18, then they can vote. Okay, and so we want to print you can vote. Right, we're checking, this could actually be used to check if somebody can vote in an upcoming election. So we'd have to establish some age beforehand. Maybe they are 21. And basically, the way this works, go ahead and run the code, is this is a condition that is checked. And if the condition evaluates to true, which it should here because 21 is greater than or equal to 18, this gets printed out. Now, if we put in 17, this condition is not met, and you can see nothing happens. But what if we want something to happen? Then you use what's called an else that goes with the if. So else, this means in all other cases, you can print you can't vote. Now, if you do apostrophe T can't, it breaks the string. You can use a backslash, okay, then it allows you to put an apostrophe within a quote. So now you can't vote yet. Okay, and so if we run these together, right, now it says you can't vote yet because the person's 17. Well, what if we want more cases? What if we want to have elif, age? What if they're, you can vote every 2 years. And so if they're greater than or equal to 16, okay, you print you can vote in the next election. Now, the way this works, it's sort of interesting. So these are conditionals here in the next election. Age is 17. Okay, so are they greater than or equal to 18? No. And so what's going to happen is it'll skip here. Are they greater than or equal to 16? Yes. And so what's going to happen is it's simply going to print this out. Basically, the idea is it checks the conditions and then it stops once one of them is met, right? So like for the 18 one, if someone's 21, hey, you can vote. It stops there. It doesn't continue to say, oh, but they're also greater than or equal to 16. It doesn't do that. It breaks out once one condition is met. So now if we run it, you can vote in the next election because the person is 17. So this is how conditionals work. And again, you could have as many ELIS as you like. So how do we get this into a chatbot? How do you chat with somebody? Well, use what's called the input function. So try this. Input, what is your name? Okay, input, note the global function. This is fun. Press shift enter. What is your name? I'll put my name in. You can put anything. Okay, cool, right? So that's interacting with the user using input. And so let's have a conversation with the user now. Let's store it. Input, what is your name? And now what's nice if you're making a chatbot is to use the variable, right? Somebody says your name, use it back, okay? Don't just say anything. So print something like an F string, right? Nice to meet you, comma, and then inside of the F string, you can put the name. Okay, so now watch what happens. So press shift enter. What is your name? Corey. Nice to meet you, Corey. That's cool, right? Now you're interacting with a user. So the way you would combine this with a conditional to start to make an interesting chat bot is you could do something like have them rate something or choose something, okay? Like if I want to give them a choice, I can say, like I want to get them to pick a sport. So sport equals, and then I want to ask, do you prefer basketball or soccer? Now, if you ask an open-ended question like this, they could say anything. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a check. So if sports.lower, okay, I'm going to force it to be lowercase, is equivalent to double equal sign, okay, that's not an assignment, double equal sign, is equivalent to basketball, okay, I do what? I say something in connection with basketball. And I'll print what everyone knows to be true. Curry is the best, okay? What else? Well, it should be an elif, not an else, and I'll tell you why in a moment. So if sport.lower, okay, is equivalent to soccer, I'll say something similar, right? Who's the best soccer player? We'll say Messi is the best. Now, they could say something else, okay? That's why there should be an else. And if they say something else, I don't know. I mean, they're not like answering your question directly. You could have a little fun, say whatever you like, print life goes on. Okay, so this is kind of interesting, right? So let's even continue the conversation here because you could include their name again, right? And so, you put the curly brackets, but you need an F string to actually include the name. So if you put the F in front, now when you put in the curly bracket, it's color coded name, comma for name to make it appropriate. Okay, let's see if this works. So press Shift Enter. Do you prefer basketball or soccer, Corey? And let's say I say basketball. Curry is the best. See, it's continuing the conversation. Could be fun to run it again. It's good to check your different ones. So what if I say soccer? Messi is the best. Cool. And what if I say something else? Those are my sports, so I don't know what else I would say. I would say maybe I can't decide. Life goes on. Okay, so this is the beginnings of how you would use conditionals to sort of make cool and interesting chatbots to engage with the user. You can do things like, hey, at this level, how do you rate them on a scale of 1 to 10? This does not cover how you would make real chatbots in the world today using advanced machine learning methods, but it's pretty impressive if you start to think about what you could actually do to have meaningful conversations with users just from the basics.